Not a single juror, not one, has been seated yet.
But here we are in month 4, and we still don't have one juror. There's so much that has gone on in this case. It seems that there's no end in sight.
Welcome back to InTheStreetzTV, and today we're going to be talking about Young Thug. So before we get into this video, make sure y'all smash that like button, and if y'all not subscribed to this channel, make sure y'all subscribe with post notifications turned on. So it looks like Young Thug is still trying to get bail, but the judge is not budging. Young Thug recently appeared in court with his lawyer Brian Still, who made a fourth attempt to get bond for the rapper. Still laid out reasons for the fourth request, calling out Fulton County's jail for food options that were nowhere near healthy for the rapper. Still noted that Young Thug is living off chocolate and potato chips while being locked up relying on food with zero health benefits. Along with that, Still says Thug has limited access to sunlight and fresh air since May 2022, with exercise being limited due to small cell size. Now, I don't know if I believe 100% of that statement because Young Thug has money. A normal person gets commissary, so imagine what Young Thug could get as far as food go, as far as clothing, etc, etc. So I don't bother he living off of chocolate and potato chips. If he's doing that, that's what he wants to do. Because I'm pretty sure when you in there you have commissary, you could buy them cup of noodles, you could buy you some soup, some chili, etc, etc. I know people that been locked up. But I also know that the lawyer has to do what he has to do for Young Thug to get bond. Now that's only if the judge grants him bond. The judge can still deny that bond.
Rapper Young Thug has filed a 4th motion to be released on bond as he awaits trial in a RICO case in Georgia. The Grammy Award winner was denied bond 3 times last year as he faces related charges. This as jury selection is expected to enter its 5th month in May.
And at the beginning of this trial, which started in January, they expected and told the potential jurors that this trial will last anywhere between 9 to 12 months. But here we are in month 4, and we still don't have one juror. There's so much that has gone on in this case. It seems that there's no end in sight. From you having defendants that are bringing into the courtroom, from an attorney, unless you have into the courtroom, from chaos and fights inside of the back, having to deal with the defendants, to outbreaks, to attorneys wanting to get off of the trial because it's lasting so long, to motions that haven't been decided about whether rap lyrics should be used in this trial. You name it, you got it in this trial.
Now from the looks of it, it looks like Young Thug may have a chance of coming home. Reason why? Nobody wants to testify. Nobody wants to be on that jury. Something is going on. Either Young Thug got that pull in Atlanta where nobody wants to testify against him and nobody wants to be on that jury. He must be on some mob ties type time in Atlanta.
Now, Bernard, yesterday the judge was expected to decide whether rap lyrics could be used as evidence against Young Thug and his co-defendants. Now it sounds like we won't get a ruling on that until May or June. So what does the judge have to consider in this decision, and what kind of a precedent could it set?
And this is a huge problem because you would have expected that a motion like this would have heard prior to jury selection. And why is that? Because you know that this type of decision can be dispositive as to the trial itself. You have to think that if this judge allows for rap lyrics, which the prosecution is arguing is admissions as to criminal activity and admissions to being part of this criminal organization, is allowed into evidence, it will be prejudicial to each of these defendants. And also it does set the precedent of, look, whatever happened to the First Amendment, whatever happened to artistic expression, I thought this was protected under that, but it will force the defendants to have to testify, to try to explain what they were talking about or why they made the lyrics that they did, and try to separate that from that being an admission. And that's exactly what the judge is going to have to balance. It's going to have to balance. Will it be so so prejudicial that it will have to force the defendants to testify and preclude them from having a fair trial in this case. But it is going to set a standing precedent, which I think will go all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, because this is an issue that has been coming up for the past couple of years. But regardless of what he decides, the potential jury panel has already heard some of the lyrics because of the jury instructions that were given by this judge. In the indictment itself, some of these music lyrics have already been stated, and these potential jurors have heard it.
So basically, she's stating that they're gonna have to force people to testify against Young Thug, being that they're not doing it on their own. And also, the judge is gonna try to use Young Thug's rap lyrics against him in court, even though it goes against his Fourth Amendment.
Now, Bernardo, Young Thug's defense is also asking the court to reconsider bond, which was denied 3 times already. How do you see that playing out?
I think the judge is going to deny the bond, because you have to think, when you're dealing with Young Thug, he is the lead person in this indictment, and he's the person to have committed more heinous and most of the crime, and being labeled as the head of this criminal organization. So nothing has changed in terms of circumstances having to deal with the prior motions that have been placed before this judge, and that's what the judge is going to decide. The judge is actually just taking it under advisement. However, the one key change is that, look, this trial started in January to try to select a jury, and here we are in April, about to be in May, and we don't have one juror present.
Bernardo, jury selection started in January, and as you mentioned, not a single juror, not one, has been seated yet. Why is this process taking so long, and how unusual is this?
So it is unusual. In fact, Georgia has already stated that this is the longest jury selection in the history of Georgia, having to deal with civil and criminal cases. But you got to think, the most important issue and hurdle for this trial and selecting a jury is the hardship. The hardship in the sense of that you are asking citizens from Georgia, from Fulton County, to dedicate about a year of their life to coming into court Monday through Friday, putting their life on hold, and also not making the money that they would normally make from their job in order to sit on this trial.
And not only that, they putting their life on the line. If these people live in Georgia and that's their community, they are putting their life on the line. They gotta go back home after court. They gotta go back to their families after court. What y'all think gonna happen if Young Thug gets locked up? He still got people on the outside that love him, that care for him. Also, he had fans that probably would do whatever for him. So at the end of the day, these prosecutors don't understand that. All they looking at is a case to lock this man up for the crime that he committed. Yes, okay, he committed a crime, he gotta do the time, right? But at the same time, you can't put somebody else's life in jeopardy in order to lock him down. It's just gonna cause more problems. But let me know what y'all think down below in that comment section. Do y'all think Young Thug have a chance of coming home? At first, I thought it was over for him. But as he stand tall and staying strong and not snitching and not talking, it's looking kind of good for him. So in the end, if he does get out, I hope he used that as a lesson. Get money, stay focused, stay out the drama, and if you need something done, have some of your peoples do your dirty work without even calling you or contacting you. That's how you keep your hands clean. But anyway, with that being said, make sure y'all smash that like button, and if y'all not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe with post notifications turned on.